Leslie Hines, who's also a founder and has been working so hard, and we love you. Thank you. We have Rachel Brown could not make it this evening. Kathy Fleshman, Jane Gwynn, Mitzi Kurtz. I don't know if you're on, but hello. Vicki Pepper, Linda Pilcher, Terry Rubin, and then we also have an advisory council. So I'm going to call your name and please stand when I tell you. Vicki Dansky, Andy Levy, I don't know if you're on, hi. Essie Perlmutter, Marilyn Selinger, and Tina Slatkin. We'd also like to acknowledge Carol Horney, who is our table connector and speaker, and just thank you so much.
Hi, am I talking into this? I'm not used to a microphone. Again, I'm Vicki Pepper, and I wrote some things. And Stephanie, I wanted to thank you so much for opening your beautiful home to Lotus Network's third kickoff party. Yay. Which adds so much to the meaningful celebration of our wonderful connection captains. It's hard not to say table captains. So thank you all for being here. I feel so lucky to have known you, Steph, since you were born. And I've watched your successes over the many years. And you've done a lot. It's in your own right, you have become a successful businesswoman as the owner of Signed and Sealed. And you have a very beautiful family, 3 precious kids and a wonderful husband. So your unending support of your mother and Leslie's determination to build Lotus Network into a rapidly growing organization has been phenomenal. I know your mom is beaming with pride, right? So it's with lots of love and appreciation. Please come up and accept this gift from the board of Lotus Network and the advisory board. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I want to welcome everyone to the Signature Experience Kickoff. I'm so incredibly proud of everything that the Lotus Network has done thus far and all that the network has achieved. My mom has always emphasized the importance of achieving your potential, and she is truly one of the most selfless people I know. And now she has taken this mentality and expanded it to this network to help so many women connect and find different meaning in their lives. I'm so proud of my mom and Leslie and the entire Lotus Network committee, and I am so grateful that we could all gather here tonight. Connecting takes on an even different meaning given all that we have been through in this past year, and it is more important now than ever. Thank you again for participating and helping the Lotus Network grow. And thank you for the gift.
Thank you. Have to get my papers in order here. For those of you who don't know, I'm Leslie Hines. I'm Lisa's partner, wherever Lisa is. And honestly, I just want to welcome you all. This is amazing. Who knew that the weather would change? You know, we'd get all these people here. So really, thank you so much. I'm not very good at following this, but Lisa's going to be mad if I don't do this right. So bear with me. I want to take this opportunity to send a huge thanks to Iris Smith, who's our title sponsor for the signature event this year. Her heart honestly has no limits. So thank you to Iris. I'm hoping that maybe she's with us. I also want to give a really special thanks to Northern Trust. I know they Our two people, somebody got sick and somebody else couldn't come. So thank you to Northern Trust and the Bender West Foundation. I know that Eileen is watching us from Zoom, and Helene and Marshall Abrams, who also are watching, I'm hoping, from Zoom. So give a big round for all those people, for our big sponsors. And then I have this list, and I really have to read this because I don't want to miss anybody. We have such an unbelievable group of sponsors. Wait till you hear. So Essie Perlmutter, Brooks Luby, Lisa and Shell Cook, Vicki and David Dansky, Rachel and Mark Brown, Nancy Dyfick, Ian Garden Schwartz and Associates, Julie and Brent Morse, Robin Choten, Steph and Sam Zaitz, Lori and Lou Sigmund, Mindy Miller, Jamie Miller, Lisa Rogoff, and Lauren Apple. They're all a family. Jossie Krause, Janie Rosenbaum, Health One, Vicki and Ken Pepper, Elaine and Rich Asarch, Lisa and Jay Perlmutter, and Lisa and John Perlmutter. So thank you. We couldn't make this happen without all of their wonderful support. So thank you, thank you. And now I have to read this again, but I have some amazing news to announce to everybody. We actually have been able to hire a part-time executive director. And Luann, she is over here. Will you stand? She is an amazing opportunity for our network. We have no doubt that her skills will help mentor our entire organization. We know that she's going to lead us and continue to keep us on the right track, because Lotus Network has grown so exponentially. I can't even begin to tell you. We have over 1,100 women in our network now. It's growing like daily. It's just amazing what's happening. And so with Luann's skills that Lisa and I don't have, we know she's just going to take us to the next level. So we are so beyond appreciative and happy. And oh my gosh, I can't tell you. So let me tell you a little bit about her. She's got this huge resume. She has over 35 years in communications, tourism, finance, and the nonprofit industry. She served as a TV news reporter and anchor, cruise director, love that, financial advisor, and director of philanthropy with several nonprofits. She and her wife, Sharon, moved to Colorado in 2019 to discover and explore this amazing state. Luann recently served as the director of strategic philanthropy for the Steinberg Loop JCC. She's also an active realtor serving seniors in transition and families going through probate, a passion she gained after stumbling through the probate process with her late mother's estate. And what's most important is the common thread that we share with Luann. She is going to help us and others recognize their own power and to live a more fulfilling and healthy life. And it's that passion that originally drew Luann to us. And we are just so beyond grateful that she's here for us. So again, thank you guys so much. And now I'm going to turn the mic over to my partner in crime. Where's Lisa? Oh, she's hiding. Okay, over here.
Let me finish and then we'll see. Okay. Hi, everybody. For those of you whom I've not had the opportunity to meet yet, my name's Lisa Cook, Leslie's other half, and one of the co-founders of Lotus Network. It is so true. Together is the best place to be. We human beings thrive on social interaction. And oh boy, has that been missing this past year. Actually, even before COVID-19 pushed us into isolation, our country suffered from epidemic proportions of loneliness. We all now appreciate how connecting is the key to life, to living your best life. It's evident that every time we create a soul-stirring bond, we put another stitch back in the fabric of a frayed world. Isn't it hard to believe that some of us are together in person in the same place. How awesome is that? It's been so very long since we gathered with more than a handful of family and friends. My heart is filled with joy just looking out at this fabulous group of women here tonight. Thank you for stepping up and becoming a part of our 2021 Connection Captain Committee. I'm delighted to welcome another special group of women and men joining our committee virtually. Hi, guys. This evening, we're sending you gratitude and a big virtual hug. The entire board is extremely delighted to have so many of you returning in this role and are beyond excited to see new faces ready to participate. It has been said that the first year of a newborn's life is full of dramatic change. And by the time a little one turns 3, the ability to express a thought or emotion is on display, and a distinct personality makes its debut. In looking back, it seems like so much has occurred in the short time since we gave birth to Lotus Network, our awe-inspiring nonprofit. Parallel to a toddler, Lotus Network is in its 3rd year of life and has experienced remarkable growth. Our evolution has required an unbelievably committed and devoted board, a whole lot of determination, good listening skills, a tremendous amount of time and energy, the ability to take a risk and stand up proud, whether our ideas succeeded or failed. And of course, bucket loads of imagination. The passion we feel for Lotus Network is real and palpable. It feels so good to walk our talk. This little seed of an idea has tremendous potential, and we're so incredibly proud of the impact Lotus Network is making. Who would have ever thought that we would see such profound progress in so many levels? We have such a clear vision of the messaging our organization wants to put out in the world. Yes, it's a fact that Lotus Network believes it's never too late to rediscover your potential and make the next chapter of your life the very best. We are driven in a big way to encourage emotional wellness, promote mental health awareness, and create a safe place for women of all ages to learn, connect, grow, and share. In other words, we're all about creating meaning and focusing on healthy aging. Lotus Network is certain. We're certain that the power of connection can be extraordinary and a surprisingly wonderful gift to befriend yourself with. To that goal, our network is continually creating programs that involve opportunities of engagement and education. We've tackled topics which are on everyone's mind, such as finding calm, nourishing hope, holding opposites, resilience, gratitude, happiness, giving back, owning your story, ageism, racial healing, redefining inclusion, mind-body connection, and motherhood. To encourage connection and help our members stay informed on the numerous happenings, we've created a monthly digital newsletter called The Lotus Seed. This bulletin also contains a column called Lotus Lady's Personal Profile, where a member of our community is given the opportunity to voice her own story, which is written by a professional storyteller. Sidebar, 3 of those women are here tonight. Raise your hands. In addition, we've crafted a new series called Stepping Out with Lotus Network that includes 3 opportunities this summer to enjoy nature, have some fun, explore our beautiful Mile High City, and develop deep and meaningful connections through socially focused walking. Our hope is to launch this series in other states in the near future. Speaking of that, can you believe we have members in 20 states and 3 countries? It is my privilege to shine the spotlight on our signature experience, Connect Now, featuring Maria Shriver on Sunday, August 29th at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. I thought I'd let you in on how this improbable arrangement happened. About 2 years ago, Joanne Kleinstein kindly suggested I subscribe to Maria's digital newsletter. If you haven't heard of it, Joanne was so right. The Sunday paper is a must read. Well, to say I look forward to devouring this inspirational column on how to get above the noise of daily life is an understatement. Like so many of her readers, I became obsessed with her golden nuggets of wisdom. And truth be told, I dreamt about the day when Maria would be our keynote speaker. Funny story, in December of 2019, I was having dinner with my family. Maria and her children were at the next table. My kids knew how over the moon I was about Maria and her philosophies, and they encouraged me to get up from the table, introduce myself, and tell her about Lotus Network. Obviously, the timing wasn't right that evening, and I did not approach Maria. Really. However, Leslie and I decided to reach out after some coaxing from the board, a major search to find her agent, and a 2-page description of why we thought Lotus Network and Maria were a perfect fit for our signature experience. Honestly, we thought it would be a long shot, but decided, what did we have to lose by making the ask to this acclaimed journalist, best-selling author, mother, former First Lady of California, she's got such a list, architect of change, and advocate for women, who just happens to be on her own journey of vulnerability, fortitude, and reinvention. Absolutely nothing. No risk, no reward. We knew in our hearts that we were kindred spirits. We speak the same language. We share the same optimistic vision that it's never too late to lead fulfilling lives, and a similar mission to inspire purposeful living, personal growth, and meaningful connections. Of course, motivating women to live an authentic life is a shared North Star value. Truly, our board of directors believes Maria recognizes that the soul of Lotus Network is woven throughout her messaging and teachings. We are all just pinching ourselves that Maria will speak on It's Never Too Late to Lead an Authentic Life and help us understand the importance of uncovering the myths we tell ourselves, revealing our truths. We promise the signature experience will provide an extraordinary morning for you and your pod. It will be a place to connect, find joy, camaraderie, and become a change agent for yourself and others. If you think we're over the top enthusiastic about the potential Lotus Network has to inspire and make a difference in many women's life, you are totally right. We can't emphasize enough that investing in yourself, because you're worth it, is critical to feeling empowered to prioritize your own desires and essential to keeping loneliness at bay. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for volunteering to help us get our message out and sharing the meaning behind it. Your belief and investment in our mission means the world to us. It is now my pleasure to introduce Steph Wagner, who I happen to think, and I mean this, is truly on the exceptional side of phenomenal. Steph is the Director of Women and Wealth at Northern Trust. She oversees Northern's initiative called Elevating Women, where she is responsible for the creation of content, curriculum, and programming for women. Over the years, she has developed a specialized expertise in utilizing financial strategies and empowering women with the resources to become effective stewards of their wealth. Steph's personal story is compelling. And like many of us, there have been bumps along the way. The journey has made Steph the woman she is today. We're thrilled to have her with us tonight from Austin and are so looking forward to listening in on her conversation with Maria Shriver at our signature experience, Connect Now in August. Steph, Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and what led you to your deep-rooted passion to helping women? Take it away, girlie.
Absolutely. I've got to pause because you've brought me to tears. I am, your words are so beautiful. And I'm sorry, I hope you can tell I share a deep-rooted passion with this organization and with these two incredible women. Yes, Lisa, I'll share my story, but I've got to just say, when I met you and Leslie, almost, I guess, a little over a year ago, I couldn't help but hear your passion that you so beautifully articulated today, but it came out loud and clear. And not only is it in complete alignment with our vision at Northern Trust and what we're building for women called Elevating Women, but it really spoke to my heart because of my journey, as you alluded to, and my deep-rooted passion to empower women to thrive, particularly in their financial well-being. And again, my journey, as you alluded, took me on this path that, quite frankly, I would say now, over 30 years ago, no, not quite. Let's just rewind that. I think it's safe to say a little over, maybe, no, 20. I can't do the math fast enough. Over 20 years ago, I never thought I'd be on this path. But I am so glad I am. So way back in time, I actually had a thriving career in private equity. I frankly, really never even thought I'd become a mother or a wife. My career was everything to me. And, I would say I was very fortunate to have kind of my dream job and had worked my way up to vice president of a private equity fund based in Boston. I actually happened to marry my college sweetheart along the way, and I did have children. But it wasn't until I was about 6 months pregnant with almost a 2-year-old at home, just under 30, that I had my wake-up call. That I was asked to get on a Cessna, to board a plane, to go look at a deal in rural Alabama. And I sat there realizing the risk that in some ways I'm putting my family at, certainly my newborn, and with my husband at the time, traveling over 150 nights a year. I thought, this isn't sustainable and something's got to give. So I kid you not, I quit like literally the next day. And I didn't know that I would leave my career for almost over a decade. I thought it would be temporary, but life happens. And that choice really caused me to relinquish certainly my earning power, but eventually my financial independence. Soon after, no one wakes up and says, I'm going to give you my financial independence. I'm going to throw it all to you and I trust you and I'm going to be fine. It happens in time. We get busy. Life gets busy. And soon, I didn't want to pay the bills. I didn't really want to look at accounts. And all that worked pretty well until fast forward, like I said, about 14 years, when I learned that my husband of 17 years, frankly, my everything for almost 21, since the day we met at USC, he'd been living a double life for many years. And I had no idea that my so-called perfect life had a big crack in the veneer. And I soon found myself divorced, jobless, and a single mom of 3 little boys who were looking at me, wanting to know everything was going to be okay. And truth be told, I didn't know how I was going to take care of them. I had an awesome resume that had a ton of dust on it, as you can imagine. No one really cared about what I had done, 13 years ago. And I realized I've got to reinvent that. Where I was in that deep, dark place of sadness, abandonment, staring at the floor, wondering how I was even going to put one foot in front of the other, let alone get out of bed, right? And thank God I had my little kids to really motivate me. I had to figure out how I was going to wake up and love what I did every day in one of those darkest moments. And I knew I had to reinvent in a really creative way. I had to love what I did. And frankly, it was really hard because I had no idea what I found meaningful, what gave me purpose, other than being a mom, which thank God I had that, as I lost my family in so many ways. So I sat and spent a ton of time with myself. trying to get to know Steph, you know, who had been lost, who lost herself in motherhood and wifehood and the busyness of the craziness of 3 little kids that soon at that point were, you know, a teenager all the way down to 7. And I just became just so hyper focused in whatever I do, I've got to wake up and love it. I've got to have meaning. I've got to give back. I've got to use this story combined with my financial aptitude, frankly, because that was all I had. And I've got to do something powerful with it. And I began to realize that if I'm feeling this lost, this broken, and this overwhelmed, frankly, about my financial well-being, what is the average woman feeling who doesn't have the financial background, but now for the first time is at the helm of her finances? And I decided I was going to really develop a business around that, or really solving that problem for women going through a divorce, and really particularly focused on those that had really complex divorces, where they needed a financial advocate. So I started a business and I became a divorce financial strategist, a consultant. And I was so fortunate because the power of women, that I think you all so demonstrate the power of women, I received that gift. And I had some really incredible women to starting to spread the word about the work I was doing. I began speaking, writing, anything I could to get this mission of empowering women around their financial lives out there. And they started spreading and telling, you're going through a divorce, you need to call Steph. And suddenly I had a thriving business. But what I began to realize is that not just women in divorce, but all women really needed to be more involved in their financial life, to prepare for the unexpected. God forbid they lose a spouse due to death or divorce, or even to make their relationship stronger. So I developed a business called Women Wealthy Wise, which was all about creating inspiring events and educational programs to get women to lean in and to be part of the conversation around money. And I've got to tell you, it was the most rewarding thing I've ever done, because you started to see the power that women have and the sharing and the stories. And it was just some of the most rewarding things I've ever done. And it made me realize that all the crap that I'd been through and all the pain was worth it, because I was starting to see the impact that we can have, you know, when we find that purpose and when we turn it into something that can help others. So I'm so blessed. Fast forward, I found my home forever now at Northern Trust. And I joined Northern about, a little over almost 2 years ago. It's been a crazy 2020. But I joined it kind of halfway through 2019 to really develop elevating women for Northern, but also really to lean in and develop our divorce advisory practice. And it's fantastic to be with such an organization that is so committed to women. So, as Lisa, you shared, I know Miko Ott and Barb Cole is on as well, and I know they are also extremely passionate about the great work that Lotus is doing, and are huge supporters. And it is just such an honor to be with you all. But frankly, wow, like y'all, what is coming with what's happening with Maria? It's a game changer for you all. And I'm just so honored to be part of that ride and to see. It's just fantastic. So with that, you know, Lisa, I just want you to know how much I treasure our friendship, the bond that we have shared with you, Leslie, and with your entire organization. And I cannot wait to meet you all in person, which I hope happens very soon. But I'm so excited to see what August will bring to this organization. And I know you've already gone global, but y'all watch out, because Lotus is going to take over the world. So thank you so much. And I'm so looking forward to, you know, really being part of an unbelievable event here in August.
I can't, there's a glare. Isn't she amazing? Honestly. And can you just envision how her energy and Maria's energy, I mean, we are in for such a treat in August. And Steph, honestly, we love you. Thank you. And your story is so compelling. As she's Honestly, amazing, amazing. Thank you again. So hopefully this will go kind of fast, I hope. Everybody, if you look in your bag, whatever it's called, that little white thing, whatever it is, if you look in your bag, there's this packet, and we're just going to go through some of the highlights of it, and you'll be able to see. First of all, if you need anything at any time, you guys know how to reach us. You've got our cell phone numbers. You can find it on the website. We can touch base with Luann. So don't hesitate. Every board member knows the answer or knows somebody who knows the answer. So don't hesitate to reach out. So my part of this evening, if you guys will turn to the fact sheet, this is all the event information. You guys see? Can you see, Jeff? Is it on? Can you guys see? I don't know where to point this. If you also, the people that aren't here tonight, we are in the midst of getting all these packets to you. So the people that are on Zoom, if you haven't received them, you will be getting them. We have a whole committee dropping them off. So back to the fact sheet. If you guys see this, Jeff, can they see what I'm looking at? Oh, here, sorry. It's just basically all the information about what's happening and the event name, the topic, why we're attending, all about Maria Shriver, the cost, the title sponsors. This is just really a who, what, where, and why. So go through it. If you have any questions, let us know. And then I'm going to ask, who's next? Carol. Where's Carol Horney? Sorry. We're all just kind of going to go through some of these pages, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, thank you. Do you want me to leave mine up here?
Oh, no, I've got mine. Thank you so much. So as you can see, first of all, this is so well organized, as is everything that Lotus does. So this is a pretty easy thing to navigate. And I think what I'd like to share with you, there's a couple of letters in here that are suggested as ways that you might communicate with people that you may want to recruit to come and join your pod, as Lisa calls it, or your group, or however you want to refer to it. One of the beautiful things about this is that since we don't have tables, you can have as many people as you want in your pod. You can invite 50 people if you want to, and make them a part of your group. So that's kind of an advantage. But I think for me, in thinking about how am I going to reach out to my friends for this event, because my friends, the people that I'm going to be talking to, probably aren't that familiar with Lotus Network yet. So what I want to do first, before I do anything else, is to share my passion for Lotus Network and why I think it is worthy of their support and their time. Because as fantastic as Maria Shriver is, there is a great deal of competition in this community for your time, as you guys all well know. So what I want to do is I want to get my friends together and sit down and talk to them and say, this is what I've become involved with. And, I became involved with Lotus Network kind of through the back door as a speaker, actually. And I got to know these women and I was like, wow, these women are so awesome. And the word that is the title of this whole event is what attracted me, and that is authenticity. Listening to Steph's story, you guys, I'm 72 years old. I don't need to talk about your recipe for your corn chowder anymore. I want to hear what's going on in your life. And that's what these women do. They talk about the real stuff in life. And those are the things that feed my soul today. And that's what this group of women represents to me. So I'm excited. I want to talk to my friends about that. I want to tell them these women are the real deal. These women get together and talk about what's really going on in their life, what their challenges are. I love the newsletters that come out and tell people's real stories. I think many of us, I wasn't coming up here to give a speech, and here I'm giving a speech, but I just think that the whole connectedness is so important, but the type of connection that Lotus Network is promoting is true connection. true connection to who we really are to each other, because, you know, it's time. It's time for us just to be who we are with each other. And I love that there's a platform here to do that. So I want to share that with my friends. Then there's this whole letter here. And, you know, there's a lot of information in this letter. If I were you, I would recommend reading the letter. And then when you talk with your friends, you use those things out of the letter that you think will resonate with them. You know, talking about Lotus Network and how well they've done. I think it is important to say there were 700 attendees at the signature event. This is a really up and coming organization. And on top of that, they got Maria Shriver to speak about a topic that's really near and dear to them. But for me, my selling point is truly going to be, this is a group of women you really ought to get to know. You know, you ought to find out what this group's doing because it's really cool. So that's how I'm going to sell it. You guys will choose your way to sell it to your friends. But I honestly think that in our life today, just as everybody has said, with as separated as we've been, we have a true opportunity to bring women together with a fantastic speaker that can promote the organization and promote conversation. And so from that standpoint, ought to be an easy sell. And I'm supposed to introduce somebody, but I forgot who. Oh, yes, please come up.
Hi. You know what I loved about her conversation just now? Two things. One, she talked about connecting with women who aren't familiar with Lotus Network as much as maybe everyone in this room, as an opportunity to bring in our spheres together, and then together through that authentic sharing. That was the second part. Thank you, Carol, for that. And I get to talk about how do we do that authentic sharing. We have discovered so much in the last year, haven't we, about how do we actually connect with people in an authentic manner when we can't be less than 6 feet apart, and sometimes even more than that. So we have an opportunity here to reach out and really invite people, even before the event, to get together at Starbucks, to talk about the Sunday paper. There are a number of things that are in your pamphlet, but one of the things that it really reminded me of was the fact that Oprah and Gail, besties, have done this for a while. I don't know if you heard the Oprah story about how they would call each other on the phone, pick a favorite movie and watch it and then talk all the way through it since the 80s. Or do you remember when Harry Met Sally and they were watching Casablanca together and they had the split screen? Yeah, so we have the opportunity to do that as well with our Connect Now event. So how do we actually get people registered is the next item, and that is the Connection Captain's timeline and responsibilities. I'm going to cover 4 important dates and then bring up Kathy, who's going to talk to you about the actual how, the technical part. The first big date starts tomorrow, and that is to think of those 9 or more ladies that you want to reach out to who might have a passion and a joy, a real joy at hearing Maria Shriver and being able to connect with other members of your circle of influence. Start thinking about that, exploring it as you're going through your day. And then June 10th is our next deadline. And that is for all the Connection Captains to confirm your pod. I like saying that, your pod. And you will be actually entering their names and their email addresses, and Kathy will show us how, and we've created a video and a walkthrough on that to help guide you through it. But we need to have those names and email addresses ready for June 10th so that we can send them out and get everybody registered and in. The third one is that we are actually going public on July 1st. So from now until July 1st, it's all about the Connection Captains reaching out to their pods to invite everybody in so that we can get those taken care of and get our RSVPs and our tickets. And then July 1st, bam, it's going to be sent out to the world, the global connection that we have. And the last one that I wanted to mention was August 1st. That's also an important date for everybody to remember, because after August 1st, we will not be sending out those favor packs anymore. In fact, we have about 1,500. And if we do have 1,500 people register, that's going to become the new date. So that would actually be a good problem to have. If we had 1,500 people registered by July 1st, that would be awesome. I want to say really quickly that it is an honor and a joy to represent you this amazing organization as your inaugural executive director. I am so impassioned about what this organization stands for, what you've done. I don't know if, no, she's not up there anymore. My wife is watching virtually. She had surgery yesterday, so she couldn't join us today. But we met several of you just through the synchronicity of the universe. And this is that connection that we were longing for. Thank you for providing it and being such a welcome when we came and arrived in Denver. Kathy, would you come forward now? Thank you. Here's technical.
That's when everybody gets excited, right? Technical. So you have on the opposite side of your folders, the Lotus Network Connection Captain Sponsors ticketing process. And what Lisa and Leslie have inspired in the technical department is to create a system. Okay, thank you, sorry. That creates a system that allows you guys as much flexibility as possible. So you get to invite people because you've paid for them as guests, or invite people because you've reserved a seat for them and are asking them to join Lotus Network and experience a membership and this unbelievable event that's coming up. And in that process, we've created automatic emails that will go out to these guests to tell them what you've done, a little bit about what Lotus Network is, and then allow them to just merely click on a link and go and register themselves if you've paid for it, or to pay and register. So there's flexibility built into this. And what it means is that you have to learn a little bit of technical support. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time because we're on a time crunch. You have the packet here. There's an online that Sharon or that Luann has produced that's fabulous. And what I will say is don't be afraid. Get on. First, you will either sign in because you're currently a member, and then you will buy your ticket as a connection captain. And that ticket will let you into the whole rest of the system where the magic happens. So once you have your connection captain ticket, then you keep going back into the same spot. And you can add reservations, you can buy tickets. You can then go in and register your guest information. You can do this at 5 minutes, you can spend 2 hours, you can close it up. It saves it all. You just go back and do it when you're ready. And when you're ready to send the emails out to your friends, you just press the email button and it gets automatically sent. You have a piece of paper in here that shows, mine is highlighted in yellow. It shows the sample emails that will first go out to your guest. One is for paid tickets and one is for reservation holds. So the important thing to remember is that we potentially have a limited number, as Lynn mentioned, of 1,500 of these very special packs that will go out to everybody that's registered. Yes. Am I allowed to say what's in the pack that these people will be getting? Not yet. So out of those packs, which of course will have all the information about attending the event, there'll be some very special gifts. As connection captains, you guys are guaranteed that all your guests will get these. After that, we will see how many of these gifts will be available, and they may not be given out to everybody else. So you guys get first on this, and they're very nice gifts. What I will tell you, since we're talking about stories, is that the technical part of this has been produced out of numbers and numbers of hours by someone behind the scenes called Brendan. And he has worked nonstop in a very short period of time to produce everything they wanted to do. Last night, rain hit in Pueblo and his electricity was knocked out, his computer was knocked out, and the cables were broken. So I've been working with him all day today and he has worked and he will work around the clock, but he has asked that we give him till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and then the system will be up and live and running. It is remarkable, but do not get stressed. Reach out to me, Lisa Leslie, and get in, play around, learn the system, but we are here to help you. Once the light bulb goes off, it is actually very simple to use. This seems overwhelming. It's just that I wanted you to have pictures of every screen and little arrows and information. But you'll figure it out, I promise you. And I'll walk you through it if I need to. Okay. And now I would like to end by introducing my dear friend and one of the founding members of Lotus Network, who has inspired me and many others to be here tonight, Terry Rubin.
Thank you all so much. And thank you all so much for being here. I can't tell you how much it means to me and to everyone that you showed up. Showing up is a big deal. We show up for each other, and I just really appreciate, I'm looking out and I'm just amazed and just so grateful to see all of you. And wasn't it cool to start off today in a circle? That was just a really beautiful moment because we've all missed being together. So everybody who's Zooming, hi, and thank you for being here. I want to thank Stephanie and your family so much for opening your home to us. It's a big deal. Thank you very, very much. And Lisa and Leslie and everybody who put this together, thank you for doing that. And there's just so much gratitude. And I know that you all are feeling it. And I hope you can, from our hearts to yours. So as we say goodbye, a couple things. Please leave your name tags on the table when you leave. And I was asked to just say something inspirational to as we go. And I thought, oh, I don't know. There's so much, and I don't know that I know exactly what would hit the mark. But then I trusted that it would come. And it did, in the form of someone who has inspirational words every time she speaks. And so I thought, I can't really say this, but I know that Oprah can. And so we're going to watch a video of Oprah because she can say it, but it's titled Listen to the Whisper. And as you all leave today, and as you're getting ready to embark on the journey of putting a table together for this event with Maria Shriver, about just being your authentic self and letting go of the myths that we tell ourselves to lead our most authentic life. I wonder if we have heard our whispers. And I just encourage you all, watch this video, see if it resonates. And maybe when we all come back together again, we will have seen the miracles that happen that when we listen to our whispers. So Jeff, thank you very much for our tech guy over here. Jeff, thank you. He's going to be playing this wonderful moment from Oprah Winfrey.
You know, in all of the years of doing the Oprah show, there were many days that I sat in my chair across from 1 or 2 or 5 or 6 or 7 people. And I would be so frustrated because I just wanted to shake people sometimes and say, why didn't you pay attention to your life? I said on the show, probably the producers tell me that they counted 33 times, but I know I thought it at least 1,000 times. I would say listening to your life as it whispers to you first, so that it does not have to knock you upside the head with a brick or come crashing down on you as a brick wall, is one of the greatest principles of life, because there are many things that happen in life that are beyond our control: natural disasters, death, unexplained events. But there are also many, many, many things in life which we can control and become out of control because You're just not paying attention. You are sleepwalking through your life. And I have seen this so many times on the show. I wanted to take the guests and go, would you just pay attention? So this is what I've learned and how I've explained it to myself. Life whispers to you all the time. Your life is speaking to you all around, from the time you wake up in the morning and every single experience that's coming into your personal space, into your physical space. All of those experiences are speaking to you. They're telling you something about your life and about your circumstances. It whispers, and if you don't get the whisper gets louder. If you don't get the whisper, when it gets louder, it gets, I call it like a little pebble, like a little thump upside your head. When I was a kid, if I was doing something my grandmother didn't like, she'd just turn around and thump me. She wouldn't even look at me. She'd just give me a thump, and I'd know that's my cue to stop it, or we're gonna get worse. The whisper is the message, the pebble or the thump upside the head. Usually it's gone into a problem. You don't pay attention to the problem becomes a brick upside your head. The brick upside your head is a crisis. You don't pay attention to the brick upside your head. The crisis turns into a disaster, and the whole house brick wall comes falling down.
Together, can't wait for more. Thank you guys very, very much. Make sure you get your little boxes of something to eat.